Hello, lovely people. I welcome you once again to Bright and Clara's channel. This is episode 41 on first floor block work stage 3. All right. Once again, thank you to everyone. Previously from episode 40, if you recall, we bought our iron rods, cement, blocks, and all the necessary materials needed to continue the project. Yes, if you haven't watched episode 39, 40, please go back and watch so that you can appreciate where we are coming from. All right, so a part of the materials that we bought, we have to buy a sand. The cost of the sand for a trip, this is 22 cubic. Okay, it's going for 900, and we bought blocks 800 pieces going for 4.10 Ghana cedis. I bought cement 18 bags, packing of the blocks, we bought water, and the workmanship for the 800 pieces of blocks is going for 1,360. 1,360. That is the workmanship for laying 800 pieces of blocks. Are you with me? I believe so far you should understand the calculation. Okay, if you don't, you have to go back and watch all our videos. All right. Okay, so these are the materials needed to go ahead with block work stage 3. Previously, we bought 500 blocks and then we added 700 blocks. Now we've added 800 blocks. Okay, so you can understand the total amount of blocks that we bought. The preparation of the iron rods from episode which is episode 40. Okay, in episode 40 we bought all the materials needed, and then the steel benders went ahead to prepare the iron rods such that they can erect all the pillars before the mason comes to continue the block work. The reason for that is that if we erect all the block work, it becomes difficult for the steel fixer to position the iron rods properly, especially when we are going to, create new pillars. I'd made mention that my lintel beams, instead of doing a rectangle, I went for triangle. And a subscriber of mine, Mr. Setsaki, was saying that we should go as per the stipulated drawing. But most of the drawings don't actually tell you you should fix this amount of rod. You understand? In the drawing, they give you options. Okay, yes, they give you option, and you can, improvise those options, because in reality, it doesn't always hold. The drawing can tell you that you should put, 20 mm, okay, in your lintel. But then looking at the situation that you cannot put 20 mm in a 4-bedroom apartment in your lintel, because the higher you go, it's all going to serve the same purpose. And like I said, having a triangle lintel will not cause any harm. You can ask any contractor, any engineer. Okay, yes, it is through engineering they came up with even this design, the triangle. Through engineering, they came up with this design. So, Mr. Setsaki, okay, you can still go ahead and use the triangle, okay, but not 12 mm. I'm using 14 mm, okay, I'm using 14 mm. All right, and this is the first floor. I'm not going to continue it, so I'm using 14 mm, which is not far from 16 mm. Okay, we do it all the time. All right, so I'm giving you a summary of all the materials we've purchased in order for us to proceed with the project. All right. So in so doing, the iron rods estimate is what is on your screen right now. We bought 14 mm 50 pieces because I have a total pillars of 25 pillars. Okay, I have a total pillars of 25, and that is why I'm buying 50 pieces of the 14 mm. And then I bought 12 mm, half a ton, and that is what I use for the lintel. And then 18 mm, 14 pieces. Okay, 18 mm, 40 pieces, sorry. 8 mm, sorry, 8 mm, I bought 40 pieces. And then the binding wire, I bought 3 pieces. Okay, these prices are actual prices. Okay, they are recent prices, and therefore you can relate to, in case there's any inflation, it might not be too high. Okay, and then the TNT 120, the workmanship for the pillars and that of the lintel, I paid 1,700. And then that brings us to the summary, because this is the estimate for the iron rods. So in summary, I have a total of 8,912, which is the cost of the iron rods and the workmanship. So in the summary, I have cost of materials, which is the blocks, the cement, the sand, okay, and that gave me an estimate of 5,742, okay, and plus that of the iron rods, which is 8,912. In total, I spent 14,654, and that was the budget I needed to be able to accomplish stage 3. What I do is that before I move on to every stage, I try to estimate whatever that I need and try to make sure if the money I have is enough to be able to accomplish that, because I don't want to go and then get stuck on the way. You understand? And I'm doing it little by little, step by step, and in each step I need to estimate exactly what I need. You understand? I need to estimate that, because in so doing, it helps me to calculate how much expenditure is required to be able to undertake such project. So in your shot right now, the block work has begun. The steel fixers has already erected most of the pillars. We are only left with few of them to be erected, and those that are not required, they're going to cut them off, like the one in your screen right now here. They're going to cut them off. Okay, so now we bought 500 blocks in stage 1, which is episode 39, and then episode 40 we bought an additional 700 blocks. Okay, now this is episode 41. We've added another 800 blocks. Okay, so in total we have 2,000 blocks, isn't it? 2,000 blocks, and you can see where 2,000 blocks has actually brought us. Are you getting it? So again, my mason is on the project, Michael Fasa. Okay, yes, and he is doing all this for me. So the total blocks, as I indicated earlier, 500 plus 700 plus 800, we have a total of 2,000 blocks so far. 2,000 blocks so far, and as you can see, that is exactly, there are still some blocks down, no need to be packed upstairs. Are you getting it? And then the mason is still ongoing. He's working, making sure that he demarcate all the necessary areas before he start moving into speed. Are you with me? Yeah, so these are all important. I don't have the bulk money, and since I want to micromanage the first floor to see how much it will cost me, so that once I'm giving an estimate to someone, you will know exactly what you're saying. So mine will serve as an example to all of you. You understand? And this is a 4-bedroom apartment. We have 2-bedroom apartment on the left and a 2-bedroom apartment on the right. Okay, both rooms have their own bathrooms. Okay, we have the hall, we have the kitchen, and then we have visitors' toilet, all put together. You understand? So you can appreciate how much I have spent so far, so that you can also quantify your estimate going forward. There might be inflation here and there, but it is up to you to reduce cost to the lowest level. I always say that, reduce cost to the lowest level. Okay, so lovely people, once again I want to say thank you to all of you for giving time and attention to my channel. I appreciate all our new subscribers. If there is any question you want to ask, please go ahead and ask. I've seen a lot of people not commenting recently. I understand, but then you see, appreciation is not for everyone. Are you getting the point? Appreciation is not for everyone. So most people are not even commenting because I ask some people to appreciate me because I've done a lot of work. Yeah, that is per your judgment. If you feel like you have learned something from this channel, then you are obliged to. But then if you haven't, you are not obliged. Are you getting the point? So please drop your comment, whatever you think. The suggestions are all welcome. All right. So the total expenditure as to up to today, okay, the blog work for stage 1, which is episode 37, I spent 3,520, and the blog work for stage 2, which is episode 38, I spent 5,107. The blog work and materials for stage 3, which is episode 40 to 41, the current episode we are watching now, which is episode 41, I spent 14,600 I think 14,654. Okay, all put together in total from the decking up to this level. Okay, I've spent 23,281 Ghana cedis, 8 pesos. 23,281 Ghana cedis, 8 pesos. Okay, so when you have watched from episode 37, that is where I started the first floor block work. Okay, from that stage, episode 37 to this episode of episode 41, I have spent 23,281. Okay, so you can imagine. Now I have 2,000 blocks in total. Okay, I still have blocks which they are going to lay. So probably if they don't finish in this episode, I'm going to bring it up in the next episode where we'll wrap up on the final block work. So now you can count the quantity of blocks that have been laid up so far. I think here he's heading up to about 7 cores to 8 cores. You can count, you can pause it and count the blocks. I'm going up to 10 cores. You understand? Because the size of the block is not that higher. So I want to lay them up to 10 cores instead of the standard 9 cores. All right. So I'm going to go 10 cores. After the 10 cores, then I'm going to come with the lintel. Okay. After the lintel, I'm going to go for another 2 cores. Are you with me? Or even possible 3 cores, depending on the height that have been attained. If the height is not appreciable, I'm going to add 1 more block to make it a 3 cores after the lintel. You understand? Okay. So pillars that have been created, yes, we have to drill into the floor decking, okay, and get to the iron bars, and then hook up the new pillars, and then cast concrete around them so that they can stand properly before the carpenter comes to board them, and then we cast the concrete. At this point, I don't want to go extra higher with the block because this is the first floor, and where I am, there's a lot of winds. Okay, the wind blows so much, and if we continue laying the blocks, if the wind blows and it's heavy towards this direction, it might break all the walls. You understand? Yes, it might end up breaking all the walls. So from here, I have to start looking for board in order to cast some of the pillars so that it can hold the blocks firmly together. You understand? So I needed some boards. So I have to start looking for board because I asked the carpenter to give me an estimate for the quantity of boards that I would need for casting all these pillars, so that after the pillars, I'll move it to the lintel because I can't do it all at a time. And besides, I want to do it apartment and apartment. So whatever I do on apartment A, I have to remove all the boards and shift them to apartment B. You understand? So that I can reduce costs. So far so good. This is the back of the building. All right. This is the service road, and that's the electricity pole that I bought. Okay, there are 2 electricity poles that I bought in order to draw electricity closer to me. One is on the far end, and I have this one next to my building. Understand? So you can see steadily I am moving forward. These stones, I bought them 1,800. That was, I think, 2021. And I still do. The sand that I bought so far, this is how much is left. Okay, so I can still use this to even complete my project up to the roofing stage. All right, yes, I can still use that one. So I still have some blocks. Work is still ongoing, as you can see. I think the level he has reached now, let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yes, he's reached 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yeah, that's 8 courses. So in these 8 courses, I think I have to wait and cast some of the pillars because it's very windy in this area. Yeah, we are not far from the coast as well. We are not far from the coast, so there's a strong wind, especially when it's about to rain. So I need to be very careful. All right. So lovely people, so far, this is how far I have come. And I believe you've noted everything down, because I told you by the time I hit the roofing stage, we need to know how much I have spent so far on this apartment, so that once you're micromanaging your project, you will know how much you have to spend. Okay. Yes, cost of labor will vary from wherever you are. Cost of materials will also vary from wherever you are. All right. All right. Thank you so much. So today I want to introduce to you again Mr. Frank Hammond, which you already know. Okay, so Mr. Frank Hammond is my boss who trained me for my electricals. Yes, after my junior high school, I went straight into learning my trade. Okay, so I went straight to NVTI. From NVTI, I did some attachment with Mr. Frank Hammond before I moved on to Takoradi Polytechnic. After my Takoradi Polytechnic, I came back, I worked. Then I moved on to my university at Regent University, where I studied my instrumentation. Through my instrumentation, after I completed, I was still working with Mr. Frank Hammond. And then before I moved on for other greener pastures. So I have received a lot of training from Mr. Hammond. You understand? He does the American 110, 220, okay? In fact, his work is superb. This man, when he's on your project, you don't have to worry about electricals at all. I know people have issues when it comes to electricals. But you see, you need experienced people. And experienced people don't come cheap. You understand? Experienced people, they don't come cheap. Yeah. So you need to know what you want, because you will take someone who is cheaper and you will pay 3 times. So why don't you pay someone once to get it done correctly? You understand? Yeah, so I know that several times Mr. Frank Hammond has complained that people ask him to go here and he goes there, and they don't even call him back. And besides, you've wasted his time and fuel. Are you getting it? So lovely people, I will urge all of you that if you need an estimate from someone, you have to pay. Yes, regardless whether you're going to give him the job or not, you have to pay for the estimate. Yes, if you know that you're going to give him the job too, yes, it will balance from there. You still have to communicate that to him. There have been instances Mr. Frank Hammond has complained bitterly that people ask him, he traveled a mile, distances, and then comes back and he doesn't even get a feedback from them anymore. You understand? It's very frustrating. You can understand that, in this economy now, people will just call you, come on, me estimate, come on, me way, and then you don't even hear from them anymore. It's very bad. I think that is bad. We should desist from that. Okay, Mr. Hammond is an elderly man, and he had been working in this project for so many years from his childhood. His dad was working at ECG. From ECG, he moved on, opened his own company. And Mr. Hammond, at a tender age, was doing his own business, wiring people's houses. And I've been working with him, Parakou, Regimanuel, and all those places. We've done a lot of work, Kumasi, wherever. He does big projects, you understand? So please, if you want him to be on your project, you have to be ready for him. You understand? Because you will love it. You will love his work. You will never be disappointed. All my artisans, you will never be disappointed. Okay? All you have to do is be patient, and you will like it. So lovely people, reach Mr. Frank Hammond for all your electrical works. All right? And you'll know my email address is there, brightantonio@outlook.com. Okay, our next episode will be on episode 42, where I bring you the continuation of the blog work and where we have gotten to. And then also with the pillar casting and then purchasing of the boards and what is required for the next stage. Okay, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it to family and friends so that together we grow. All right, from me to you, it's shalom. Bye-bye.